Intros are so corny, bro. Why do you have to make intros? Like you saw the thumbnail, didn't you? You saw the title. You don't know, why do you have to make an intro? Yeah, what up, YouTube? Hey, glad you guys are here. I'm actually glad if you clicked on the video, but I don't like to make intros, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Boy, if you don't... So this guy did not get into art school, and that eventually caused actor Steve Martin to get conned out of $750,000. Let me explain. Now the guy, let's call him Lil Mustache Man. And Lil Mustache Man really wants to go to art school, and he applies twice. But unfortunately for him, the school is like, nah bro, and he doesn't get in, because he's not very good. But 25 years later, he's Chancellor of Germany. Yet he still considers himself a connoisseur of the arts, and he's still allegedly a bit salty about getting rejected from art school all those years ago. And as he directs his military to invade other countries around Europe in World War II, he also has them loot museums and raid art collections and steal all the art pieces. And they become notorious for this. It's estimated his goons took over 600,000 pieces of art during this time. By some estimates, they took nearly 20% of all the art in Europe. And some of it they keep and some of it they destroy, but to this day, a lot of that art has never been recovered. Now, let's fast forward several decades to the 1980s, because I want to talk about this guy, Wolfgang. And Wolfgang, he's in his 30s, he's kind of a hippie, and unlike Lil Mustache Man, he's actually a very talented artist. He's a painter. And one day, Wolfgang's like, fuck all this working, I want to make quick money. And he gets a crazy idea. He's gonna forge some art. He's gonna paint some new paintings in the style of old famous artists who died a long time ago, and he's gonna pass these fake paintings off as originals. Cool plan, bro. And so he does this. He makes these fake paintings and passes them off as old masterpieces. And surprisingly, it works. And he sells them to people, he sells them to art galleries, and pretty quickly he starts to make good money from this, like hundreds of thousands of euros. Then, in 1993, everything changes for him, because he meets this woman, Helene. And he and Helene, they fall in love, and eventually they get married. And not only is Helene okay with her new husband being a con artist, art forger, but she's like, let me help you out! And she becomes his partner in this scam. And together, Wolfgang and Helene and some other acquaintances of theirs, they really start to perfect this whole thing. Like, they make sure the canvases they're painting on are from the right period, that the paint is from the right period. He even builds an oven and cooks his paintings to make them seem cracked and old. And then they approach art dealers and auction houses and they sell them. And when the art dealers are like, hang on a second, where the hell did you get all these priceless, long-lost paintings from? Wolfgang tells them some complicated story about how they had inherited all these works from their art collector grandparents, and that they had originally been looted by Lil Mustache Man's military back in World War II, and that they were just recently recovered. And since Lil Mustache Man really did steal that many collections of art back in the day, these art dealers start to believe that, yeah, it's actually plausible that Wolfgang and Helene's story is true. He inherited a bunch of long-lost art. And so anyway, they start selling all these fake long-lost paintings, allegedly by famous artists, for hundreds of thousands of euros per painting. Even millions sometimes. They make 2 million euros off one painting alone, or about 2 million US dollars. And so suddenly they're rich. And now that they're rich, they gotta go and buy a bunch of shit for themselves, because that's what you gotta do. And they buy a big mansion in Germany and a villa in South France. They're traveling around to all kinds of places, chilling on yachts. They apparently dress all high class now, and Wolfgang's driving a pimp-ass Jaguar. And so this scam goes on for years. Wolfgang will make a fake long-lost painting in the style of a well-known dead artist, and they'll claim it's authentic and sell it for a ton of money. And yes, there are actually skeptics. There are authenticators and people in the art world who start to doubt them. Like, no way you have all these old originals. And they really start to push them on the authenticity of these. And of course, Wolfgang's like, nah, these paintings have been in Helene's family for years. We have really old photographs of Helene's grandmother standing next to them. And so to squash these accusations, Wolfgang and Helene will dress Helene up in vintage clothes and take a photograph of her with some of these paintings in the background. But they'll make the photograph look vintage too, and they'll show it to the authenticators like, look, here's a really old picture of Helene's grandma in front of the paintings. Like this, what you're looking at is actually a photograph that they faked. The shit is wild. And so they get not just people to believe them, but like art authenticators to believe them, and experts believe them. They have everyone fooled. I mean, needless to say, this plan is working. And at this time, in the early 2000s, it's estimated that Wolfgang and Helene and their accomplices have profited over $100 million from this scam. $100 million from fake paintings. And to make it worse, it seems like no one is going to catch them. Until Wolfgang screws everything up by using the wrong color. Because one day in 2006, he's painting one of his fake-ass paintings, and he runs out of the color white. No big deal, he'll just make some more, because he usually mixes a lot of his own colors. But on this particular day, this one time, I don't know if he's running late or if he's just feeling lazy on this day, but instead of mixing his own white, he goes to the store and buys a tube of white that has titanium in it, or titanium white. And he uses that to finish his painting. Then, after he finishes, he and his crew sell it to a trading company. And they tell him that it's by this famous dead painter, it was painted back in 1914, and that it's all legit. And they sell this fake 1914 painting for 2.8 million euros, or about $3 million US. And that's all fine and good until the buyer notices something off about this work of art. So they demand to see a certificate of authenticity for the work, which obviously a certificate of authenticity doesn't exist because this work is a fake. And so this buyer sends this fake 1914 painting off to an art expert in London. And that expert puts it under a microscope, and bam, that's when he sees it. The paint Wolfgang used in this supposed 1914 painting was titanium white. But titanium white wasn't really available until 1916. And so this buyer gets pissed, because he just got ripped off, and he goes and he files a complaint with a district court in Germany. Then the Berlin State Police gets involved, and they start investigating, and they discover what you already know, that this painting is fake as fuck. Not painted by some master in his workshop, but painted by Wolfgang, probably in his garage. And from here, pretty quickly, word starts to spread around the art world, and boom, there are lawsuits galore, as Wolfgang and Helene start getting sued by a bunch of the people they ripped off. Then, one morning in 2010, when old Wolfie and his wife are about to drive away from their big-ass mansion, pow, a bunch of police cars suddenly surround them, and bam, they get arrested. And I don't have a mugshot, but here's what he looks like in real life. So, then what does all this have to do with the actor Steve Martin? Well, apparently Steve Martin is an avid art collector, and in 2004 he actually bought a painting from a gallery for about $750,000, and I assume he thought this painting was badass. Well, unfortunately, it was a painting that Wolfgang had done, aka a forgery. Obviously Steve didn't know it was fake, but nonetheless, bro got ripped off. Anyway, allegedly, Wolfgang had faked over 100 paintings over the course of 2 decades, and that's why, at the end of it all, he gets sentenced to 6 years in prison. While Helene gets sentenced to 4 years in prison, and Lil Mustache Man, well, he unalived himself a long time ago. So, good for them?
I mean, okay, I guess. If you have all of that talent, why would you waste it by forging paintings? Just paint your own. I guess it's harder, but you feel better about yourself. It was just there for the money. But they sold 100 paintings. How did people not get suspicious before? To be honest, I think he won both of them, because he got 6, she got 4. Obviously, they're gonna have to pay some dues, some bills. The way the world works, I think once he gets out of jail, people are gonna start buying his painting. That's how crazy the world is right now.
13 years as an ass doctor, and nobody believes me when I tell them this. Pineapple cucumber salad will clear out all the poop stuck in your gut. This mix creates a natural laxative, making you feel lighter overnight. Lemon balm is 98% more effective than Ozempic. You want a tutorial on how to make it? Comment lemon balm and I will send it your way. Eating pineapple will get rid of any fishy smell down there as it balances your pH levels. Batana oil will get rid of any gray hair you have. And and will even boost hair growth by 97%. You can find the purest form in the link in my bio. I cannot possibly share all of the secrets I learned in these short videos. If you want to learn more, I have a newsletter called Holistic Life Hub, where I reveal everything.
You can't lie to me. You can't tell me this isn't AI. This is AI. This whole thing. Look at this face, bro. Look at this face as well. This is another scammer, another TikTok scammer. Now she's a nurse doctor. I swear last video she was a dermatologist. And the video before that one, she was a gynecologist. You ain't fooling no one. Do better, bro.
If only y'all knew what they put in the most expensive perfumes and colognes. For example, Baccarat Rouge. Or a lot of the perfumes, which is the female side of the collections. If only y'all knew what they put in these things to make them not only just last a lot longer, but attract other people. Y'all might think, well, it's just really great pheromones and all. No, actually, they put in, let's just say allegedly, right? Because you're not gonna find an article saying that, hey guys, we put this in here, obviously, right? But a lot of these perfumes and colognes, you gotta be careful, have witchcraft in them. And a lot of the witchcraft that they put in these colognes and perfumes is a drop of blood. And a lot of the times, those drops of blood come from things like babies or like things that are sacrificed or even demon blood. And so you might think, oh, you're just capping, you're just talking. Source, trust me, bro, trust me, bro. Why do y'all think the most expensive colognes are one, more expensive? Y'all might say, well, it's because of the brand. What do these brands practice? Think of Balenciaga, think of Versace. Think about who they worship and what they practice and the things that they do. Y'all don't think that they put that also in their colognes and perfumes? Think about it. Really think about it. Now, I'll leave y'all with this caveat right here, okay? Think about what they put on these bottles and the gauze that they put on these bottles. Like Versace, the gauze that they put on a Versace bottle. Think about these, and I'm not saying that I think it's the most expensive perfumes and colognes. The ones that have a lot, the ones that are a lot older and have, the ones that are a lot older and they made back in the day and things like that. Those are the ones you gotta watch out for.
Yo, guys, watch this. Someone said Lady Gaga perfume is mixed with her blood. I don't understand what is going on with these people. Like, yeah, this type of thinking is wild to me. You need to be put somewhere else. Listen, I understand that sort of thinking. You shouldn't deposit all your trust in a big company. Even a small one, just a company that you don't know their values, which is the case when it comes to these companies, I'll be honest. But at the same time, I don't understand how they would be able to weaponize like witchcraft and stuff like that. Bro, I might be wrong here. Maybe know something. Listen, the sources trust me, bro. So, hey.
Okay, breaking news. The Gaza-Israel ceasefire has been broken. At about 2 a.m., while people were still having their pre-dawn meal as it's currently Ramadan, Israeli warplanes launched dozens of airstrikes across the Gaza Strip, killing at least 330 people. Reports say that houses, schools, tents, and shelters were all hit, and the death toll is expected to rise as many remain under the rubble. Now, Israel claimed that they launched these attacks because Hamas refused to return some hostages, while Hamas claimed that Israel deliberately sabotaged the ceasefire in order to return to war. And unfortunately, it looks like things from here are only going to get worse again, because Israeli's defense minister said tonight, we return to fighting in Gaza, and they also just issued new evacuation orders suggesting that more strikes are on the way. But the main takeaway, the ceasefire has been broken.
How long is this gonna last though? They agreed to a ceasefire. Israel is, listen, they need to be punished to the full extent of the law. Because this is a war crime at the end of the day. They've been doing this for ages now. United States, y'all need to check yourselves, bro. Just because y'all get a shit ton of money from your lobbyists, doesn't mean y'all need to agree with everything they do over there in their country. Such wanker behavior, bro. Because this is not, you're just killing people, kids. Half of the population over there is below 18. At the end of the day, this is ridiculous. Y'all can't hide behind the fact that Hamas is doing or did things to you guys, and then so because of one group you guys are gonna destroy a whole country, destroy a whole population. That doesn't even make sense.
Do not nap during the day, because what you want to do is build up all of that healthy
shit. Fuck you.
I'm fucking tired. I don't give a fuck what time of the day it is. I'm gonna take me a fucking nap. Shit.
I don't know about that one though, because you see the Spanish, they take naps. The whole country just shuts down between 2, I believe it's 2 till 4 or 3:30. Let me check before I start waffling. So I just checked. The La Siesta, I forgot about that name, yeah. It's at 1 till 3 p.m. And they're productive. They have a good economy over there.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory around the Mandela effect?
About erasing history?
Yes. This woman gave the example of the Fruit of the Loom logo. She said the Fruit of the Loom logo used to have a cornucopia in it. So, you know, like the basket with all the fruit spilling out. Fruit of the Loom was like, we've never ever had that. And they went so far as to create an illustration of their logo all throughout the years, none of them showing the cornucopia.
That's impossible.
This chick went so crazy about it. Like, she was talking to her therapist, and her therapist is like, chill out about Fruit of the Loom. You're obviously so manic. She was like, I'm not kidding. It has a cornucopia in it, and I'm gonna die on this hill. She went through her whole closet and like friends' closets and stuff, and she finally found a t-shirt that had the Fruit of the Loom logo with a cornucopia.
No way!
And she went as far as to go look at the old like trademarks and stuff and found an illustration of the cornucopia.
Dude, what is up with that? Why are they gaslighting us?
The theory is it's a giant experiment, worldwide experiment, to see how easy it is to erase history.
I mean, that's 100% probably a real thing.
Yeah.
And they just had certain brands that opt up for it or something. Or if they're like, you know, man.
So be stubborn.
For real.
Yeah.
It's Bernstein Bears.
That was funny. It's Bernstein Bear. But listen, yeah, be stubborn. I believe this could be a real thing. I'm not saying they're doing this for a bad reason or anything like that, but I believe this is real. Because you know, the CIA, the FBI, all of those companies, they are known for making these crazy experiments. So I believe this.
Yo, bro, you know where the nearest McDonald's is?
You ain't gotta go down the street and then pop left and then go down over to the jet.
Huh?
Go that way, go pop left and then go down. You ain't gotta go down that jet.
Huh?
Bro, do you not hear what I'm saying, bro? You go down the street, pop left, then you go down there. You ain't gotta go down the jet. Go keep on straight.
What?
Are you fucking?
Yeah, you probably can get the hang of it after a while, but the first weeks, months even, yeah, I'm not catching anything you say. Well, you dumb. What type of language is that? What are we doing? Even the roadman in England are like, raw. What is this guy on about? Because you can catch a roadman in England speaking proper English, between slang, just smashing everything together like an English breakfast. Yeah, man, I don't know about that one, though.
Keir Starmer should bring in the military to stop the invasion of Britain's borders by illegal immigrants. Just look at what Donald Trump is doing. US Marines have secured the southern border, and a US Navy destroyer is patrolling the waters where illegals in small boats have been trying to break into America. Now, he's very publicly deported people, and he's stepped up the rhetoric.
Border immediately halted all entry of illegal border crossers, of which there were many, and began promptly returning the illegal trespassers back to the place from which they came.
Crucially, he threatened countries like Mexico with tariffs if they didn't stop illegal immigration, which forced them to use their own troops to police their own border. And the Trump administration has openly mocked people who refuse to be deported.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
Well, he's wrong. He's going back to Haiti. I tell him that.
He is. Anyway, what's happened? Illegal crossings are now down 82% at the southern border. That's the news of today. 82% drop in illegal crossings at the southern border. The number of people trying to reach the United States by crossing the Darien Gap is down 99%. He's halted asylum applications. Deterrence work. 2.5 months or so of Trump and America is no longer being invaded. Here in Britain, we were told this from the Tories.
We're very clear we want to stop the boats.
Vote Conservative so we can stop the boats. To keep my promise to you, to stop the boats.
We were told this by Labour.
He promised that he would stop the boats this year.
I think the way to stop the boats is to smash the criminal gangs.
People crossing in small boats across the channel. We have to stop that.
So where are we today? The same day that it's announced in the United States, 82% fewer illegal crossings. As of today, right here in Britain, channel crossings are up 25% on the previous year. We have more migrant hotels under Labour. A Palestinian who called for all Jews to be killed before eventually being arrested following public backlash managed to get into Britain. A suspected people smuggler is currently living in a 4-star hotel in Kent. People from 70 different countries have broken into Britain in the last few years. Thousands of people are coming here on skilled worker visas and then just, shock horror, claiming asylum. Thousands of illegals are working in the black economy, either in vape shops or washing cars. We are paying France hundreds of millions of pounds to essentially not stop the boats. Look, here's the difference. President Trump's America. Bring in the military, threaten tariffs, don't bother with international courts, remove the incentives and stop processing any asylum claims. And the illegals stop coming. Keir Starmer's Britain. Come on in. We'll pay for your hotel or your social housing, your phone, your pocket money, driving lessons, medical bills, legal costs. We'll educate your kids for free. You can probably work for Deliveroo or a car wash, depending on whatever floats your boat. Donald Trump is proving that deterrents work. Britain currently has no deterrent.
Listen, I agree. You have a right to defend your borders, and if you don't want people to come to your country, I guess. But then again, there's international law and there's obligations that we have. But also, you need to bear in mind that according to the 1951 Convention Act, is it the Refugee Convention Act actually? You have to give asylum. If people can prove to you they're actually running away from prosecution and things of that nature, you have to give them asylum according to international law. Well, then I would just tell the British government, if you want people to stop coming to your country, which is really hard to do if you really think about it, because it's an island, but whatever. If you want to sort that problem, just go to the root of the problem. Sort that first, because then you won't have people coming to your borders or to your country. Stop giving money away to wars and sponsoring militant groups that you don't have any reason to be there, apart from making a malicious investment on that said country, because you're giving them weapons because you want their minerals afterwards, innit? So you can be like Trump now, and he tells Ukraine, listen, we gave you guys money, now we want our money back, but we're going to triple that. We want 500 now.
In the center of the stage tonight, businessman Donald Trump.
Then you got to come to our country and say thank you every time we sit down. Are we good? Are we good? Oh, I do see him. Bro, I do see him. This is nuts. I do see him. What? Why do I see him? Bro, nah, let me move away from this. I was laughing too, and then I saw him. Nah, that can't be real though. People need to stop with these illusions, man. They're gonna kill us. And AI is coming, bro. Nah, I ain't ready for all of this though. But yeah, appreciate you for being here though. Take care. Have a blessed day. But yeah, guys, appreciate you for being here. Take care of yourselves though.